Happy Hump Day, everyone. I'm Nikita Ross, your host of the Fearless Female Podcast. Today I'm here with the fearless Shan Greggs of Simply Scent
Yay.
Candle Company.
Thanks for having me, Nikita.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
coming.
No problem.
I had a conversation the other week with my best friend, and we were talking about the podcast. And a lot of people think that the podcast is designed for entrepreneurs. It's not. It's just that I happen to know a lot of entrepreneurs. You know, birds of a feather flock together. And I want to give this disclaimer. It's not about entrepreneurship. It's about being bold and being courageous. That's what it's about.
Right.
And it's about taking that job, going back to school, getting that master's degree, going back to school, getting that GED. You know, that's what it's about. It's not about entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship is the way we tell our story and share our journey.
Right.
So don't think because, you may not want to be an entrepreneur, but I know there's some nuggets, there's some gems that you can take away from each and every podcast. So I want to put that disclaimer out. Also, if you know some fearless babes who work in corporate America, some teachers, some nurses, whatever, let me know. I would love to have them on the show because it's about variety.
Yeah.
It's about variety and
Right.
sharing that story with the audience.
Right.
So today we here with Shan because I want her to share her story. I want her to go way back to high school.
Wow.
I want her to go back to high school. And in high school, Shan, did you know that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
No, but I knew that I was going to be somebody.
You knew you were going to be somebody.
Know what? Because I did everything in high school. I worked at Randall's. I decorated cakes. So I was making top dollar in high school decorating wedding cakes for Randall's. But I also did hair out the trunk of my car. I always did something. And then like when I was in the 4th grade, the teacher called my mom. Was like, she a little advanced for regular school. You need to take her out and put her in other things. And I think at that moment, I knew something was different. I didn't know quite what it was, but I just knew something was different at that moment in the 4th grade.
And that's how I was. I mean, I had a candy house. I was always a hustler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just naturally. I always had a candy house.
Yeah.
I did hair out the bathroom when I was 14.
Yeah.
And I was always like just into marketing.
Yeah.
When I was 14, I went to Fast Science and got science made and marketing material made and had it plastered all over the
being
bathroom.
popular is marketing.
It is. It is. Being well known, being popular, yes. And being personable.
Yeah.
Being personable too.
Yeah.
So after high school, what did you do after high school?
After high school, 2 weeks after high school, I left and I went to the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah. My family was very strict on me coming up, so I kind of got to do things late. My mom had me when she was 14, so I think they were a little afraid of that, and because I was a little different. You know what I'm saying? They probably saw that I was sneaky and doing this kind of little head of the game. So they put brakes on that. But I also knew, like I say, back to the 4th grade, there was something in me that was special. And I know if I would have went to college, I would graduate the top 10% of my class. If I would have went to college, it would still been that whole control thing. So I went and say, well, what can I do to switch this up? So that's what made me say, I can go to the military. So then it goes to which one is the best one? Okay, so it's the Air Force. Which one is the best field that I can get into and then get out and be able to work and still make top dollar? So I did that. I worked with F-16s, B-1 bombers. I worked at NASA. People don't know that before, but I always had, really great jobs when I was young. So I worked at NASA for a little while and did that. Then I went on to the post office. Then I became a flight attendant. And now I have the candle company.
Candle company. So where did the candle company fall into between the post office, flight attendant? Where did it?
I think all those things happened to get it started. Now that I look back on it, I said, oh, Lord, you was setting me up for this the whole time. Because I was a flight attendant. I love traveling. I've been all over the world. I said, well, this would be what I'll do. I was based in, I worked for United before it had merged with Continental. So I was based in Chicago. I love that. I had friends. I traveled. But I also went to New York and I sold purses too. So that was my hustle as far as still being able to be connected to my peers and my community because I always sold things. So 9/11 happened and that changed the game, everything in flying. People stopped flying, people were afraid. So by me being so junior and it was only my 2nd year, I was always the first person to get laid off. So after the 2nd layoff or so, I was like, man, what am I going to do now? I found, what I love to do. Man, this going to be tough because I can't keep getting laid off, So after the 2nd layoff, I was just kind of like contemplating, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I was watching a Martha Stewart taping, and she was talking about candle making, this, and that. And I was like, well, for one, I'm gonna make, because my family, everybody exchanged gifts. There's no pulling names and all of that. Everybody exchanged nice gifts. You say what you want, basically that's what you get. So I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna have any money for presents this year. What am I gonna do? So I was like, man. So I was like, oh, that's what I could do. I can make some candles and I can just kind of give them out. And it's because I always loved candles. I used to get in trouble all the time for letting candles burn and all that shit. And put that candle out, never knowing that would be, a part of my journey. So I did that. They came out all right, but it seemed like as soon as I started researching and how to make it, it just kind of like took over me. Like, I don't know, something happened. Same thing that happened in the 4th grade, it happened then, so it was kind of like, man. And then so I enjoyed it. So I really did the research, and they laid me off again. I took my whole paycheck, everything that I had researched. It was a candle supply place here in Houston. Went and bought all the candle supplies I needed with my last check. And I said, I'm going to make these candles. I'm going to give some to my mom, take to the post office, because they buy anything at the post office. And then when I go get these purses, I'm going to take some to the beauty shop and maybe just leave them and see if they like it. And that's exactly what happened. My mom sold the candles, so all the candles was gone. But by the end, they had called me back to fly. I was like, okay. So I never will forget the first call I got. They was like, I'm here at the beauty shop. Where can we get these candles? And I was like, man. Then my mom called. She was like, so-and-so want this candle and this candle and this candle. And so I was just like, wow, it's finna happen. So I would just make candles on the weekends, the days I was off, put them in the trunk of my car and go sell them. And that's just kind of how it started off. Then they laid me off again. So I did it full time. And that's when my passion came. I saw everything that I had dreamt of, how I was going to be somebody. Everything for my future, I saw it happening within this plan.
How long did you do it part-time before you moved to full-time? Because I know you said you got laid off, but did you do it a year, 2 years?
Oh, I sold candles out of the trunk of my car for 4 years.
Okay, 4 years.
4 years. So maybe like a year and a half, it was kind of like hobby-ish because I had laid off. But then they called me back to work and I resigned. And I didn't tell my family. I just told them they didn't call me back. So my mom, we got the same last name, so she opened the mail, and so I had resigned. So that was a big deal in my family. You going to resign from your full-time job to sell candles. What? So that was a issue. The only person I can really say that believed in me was my grandfather. Rest his soul. I miss him so much. But when I told him, looked at me in his face, I said, this is what God called me to do. I get a joy out of it. It's just everything changed. Everything became prioritized. It became, I didn't have time to do this. I didn't have time to do that. And those are things that I had no business doing anyway. But it just prioritized everything for me. And from that point on, it's just kind of like, man, I just smashed on the gas. And as time went on, that's why it's good to say, you put God before you put him before you put your mama and you put your daddy. I'm sorry. Because now, look, my mom retired. She works with me. She's like, she's there right now. My auntie worked with me. My grandmother, I just got an award. She cleared out a space for it. I was like, that ain't really that big of a deal, huh? But, to my family, that's like, so it's just a lesson in that to say, if your heart desire to do something, you got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
And I know you and your mom are very close.
Yes.
Very close.
Because my mom's like my sister, so my grandparents raised all of us in the same house, but I know that that's my mom, and I still have a certain fear of my mama, so, yeah, we're close.
And I say that because, you resigning,
Mm-hmm.
you decide to be fearless
Mm-hmm.
and pursue your dream,
Mm-hmm.
and for your mom to be like, why?
Yes. Why? They know the work. All my whole family retired from the post office. They have 401k. They have pensions. They have checks coming in. So the whole idea of owning your own business, like, where'd that come from? Oh, you just don't want to work. That's what the thing was.
And that's really more work, actually.
Yes, but to your family who's never seen that before, that's like, what you doing? So it's up to you. So that was a motivating factor to prove to them that this was, that was a part of the whole success, to be able to prove to them, like, this is what I enjoy doing. This is, once your family see things is changing you, they going to be down for it. They don't care what it is. They're going to be down like, oh, she changing this for the better. Maybe we should give this a little more opportunity. Then my mom started selling them at her job, and, it just kind of went from that place.
So 16 years later.
Yep, 16 years later, I'm here on Fearless Females. Hopefully I'm encouraging somebody, because it's not always about, you know, being an entrepreneur, like you said, it's about being fearless, you know, and not having any fear. And I know one of the questions you asked was like, what are your fears? And I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, my fear is fear. Like, I don't want to be afraid of anything. I don't want to be scared to do anything. I don't want to be fearful, you know. So, yeah.
What has been, you know, a lot of times we talk about the success.
Mm-hmm.
What has been a few of your biggest challenges throughout this journey?
My biggest challenges, I think my biggest challenges has been working capital.
All the time.
You
right?
know, yeah.
Yes.
So if I knew what I knew when I first started, you know, of course it would always be different, but you learn throughout the journey. But the biggest challenge in my business has been working capital, not having enough to meet my demand. You know, people will say, "Oh, that's a good problem to have. You never have enough to meet your demand." But actually, it could be little. If you're a person like me, I'm always challenging myself. I'm always want to win, and it's a certain level of success that I want to acquire. So that's a like a stress point for me sometimes when I got a big order. You know, I like to say, you know, I got to hold up a day because I got to make the money over here, shuffle the money around, and, you know, move that money around. That becomes stressful.
But it's a lot of shuffling taking place.
Yeah.
People don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shuffling.
You got 2 sets of bills. You got your rent at home. You got your rent at the store. Then if you got 3 places, you got 2 sets of lights. Then you got 2 car notes. You got 2 insurance. You got 2. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's
you
like
gotta make that happen.
it's all due on the 5th.
Hey, the first ain't slow.
Right.
It don't care. It ain't no. It don't have
Yes.
no mercy on you. It's
Yeah.
gonna come, and when it comes, you have to be ready. So, yeah, that's been one of the biggest challenges.
It is. And, you know, I know for me, when I wanted to grow my business and I thought, you know how they always act like it's so easy to get money.
Yeah.
Go to SBA. Did
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, I tried all that.
It doesn't work. It's
No.
not that simple,
No.
you know, and it's so many levels to it. Number one, you have to be credit worthy.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you have that box checked. Okay, second, you need to have some tenure in business, meaning
Yep.
you need to be in business at least 5 to 10 years, right?
Yep.
But then they need to see profitability.
Right.
Is your business profitable? And the problem that a lot of us do, I know I can say this for myself, we didn't want to pay taxes on the money.
Yeah.
I know I didn't
Yeah.
want to pay taxes
Yeah.
on the money for
Sometimes you
years.
can't afford to pay the taxes on all of the money
Because
that you make.
the percentage is so high.
Yes.
Like you in the 33rd
Yeah.
percentile. I mean, it's so high. So you make 100,000, they're gonna
Yeah.
take 33,000.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, if you don't have every box checked,
Yeah.
and then you can't get the money.
That's right.
You can't get the money. So I know for me, it was because I didn't show enough profit. Because I didn't want to pay taxes on $100,000, right?
It's kind of challenging to be
But that's a fact.
successful. You know what I'm saying? Because you got so many different things that you have to pay. You know, so it becomes challenging.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. So I know that working capital for so many, you know, the
Yeah.
shuffle of the money.
Well, now it's gotten a little easier. You know, you got your Square, you got your PayPal.
Yes,
And if they
yes.
see that you making money,
Yes.
which I think is the best way for businesses like ours. Hey, you see that we're making money, you know, so that cut out a lot of
But
that.
that's new,
riffraff.
though.
Yes, very new.
You know, because
It's
think
very
about
new.
it, it's new. The Square thing, the PayPal thing, maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 years
Yeah.
old tops.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that, but you're right.
But now it's very helpful.
it is, and I've utilized
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
of those.
I do a
yes,
bunch
I-
of stuff.
yeah, but it really helps you.
Yeah.
It really
If
helps
they
you.
see you making money, they're gonna give it to you.
It does, and they just
Yeah.
take it right off the top.
Yeah, and I
Just take
like
it.
that. I ain't got to worry about no monthly
Bills,
payment. If I have
yes.
a slow day, it's gonna go
Yes.
accordingly. So thank you, Lord, for PayPal, working capital, for Square, for what's the other Cabbage. This to help y'all now. This
No,
is
it's
to help
real.
you. So Google these things. If you have a small business and you're looking for working capital, you know they're not gonna give you more than you can handle.
They will
You
not.
know, so Google these things. You know, a lot of times people don't, you know, share how they get their funding, but if you use it appropriately, you know, you can level up. You can really level your business up. Then you'll end up getting more money and more money and more money, being able to do more and more things. And don't get the money and go and be paying your car note and all that, but you know,
balling out,
invest
right,
in your
and
business,
traveling
and
on
it's
it,
gonna
right.
it's gonna pay you back.
It will, because it really costs to make. I mean, you have to spend money to make
Yes,
money.
you do.
You really do.
You
You have
do.
to keep your business up. You have to keep it looking presentable.
Yeah.
And I say that for presentable, meaning in a salon, we constantly trying to like repaint a wall, just to
Yeah.
keep it fresh and keep it
keep
new.
it stocked, keep
Yeah,
candles on
yeah,
the shelf,
yes.
keep this, keep fresh scents coming in, keep new containers, keep, keep it coming.
So you have this new Lux line.
Yeah, I do. I just got some new containers in today. I'm real excited about it too.
So what made you come up with this premium premier
Because
line?
we needed to get the numbers up, and I was like, the product is so good. There's no reason. I go to Saks, I go to Neiman's, I see all of these candles that I love. I love other candle brands, Trap, Joe Malone, all of those candle brands, and they, the quality may be equal or the same, or maybe not as much, but they charging $40, $50 a candle.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that because of the container. It's a different look, I minimize my customers because I say all they care about is a really good scent, which most people do. That's the main thing people want. You can look pretty, but it don't smell good. People got a problem with that. But it cannot look so pretty and smell really good. They'll still buy it because they care about the smell. So the Lux line was just to combine the two, just to have a to cater to all of my customers that may want the look and the smell, but still be able to cater to customers that's not really too concerned about the look. And just to have a different price point, put a different value on the brand.
So now you're marketing to two totally different demographics.
Because everybody loves candles.
Yes.
We even have candles for $2. So if you're a college student, you can't burn candles. We have room sprays. We have aroma bags. Everyone loves their place to smell good. And, once people usually find a really good product, they stick with it. I love Bed Bath & Beyond. I give my customers a break when they go there because I love their sales. I love the things they do. That's one of the companies that I follow, and pay close attention to. I like how they do what they do because they have candles and they have sprays and they have, they have different things besides just candles. So I share the love a little bit, but I'm kind of jealous when it comes. I be like, don't be coming in here with that Bath & Body Works bag. Then I was like, if it's a Bath & Body Works bag, I'll let you have. You just slide with that one.
I'll be all right.
They got some good stuff, yeah.
My favorite, what made me fall in love with your candle company is the cake scent.
Yes.
I don't cook, I don't bake. But the fact that your house smells like, it's nothing like when a cake is baking in the oven.
Yeah.
That scent, I love it. So that's what made me fall in love with your company. But then after that, I ended up falling in love with crisp linen. Real clean, very different.
Yeah,
that is your scent. It's a very opposite end of the spectrum of the cake scent. Yeah. But it's a perfect gift. Yeah. Perfect gift to give the clients, just to give the people. And then my clients come back after I gift them a candle from you. They're like, okay, how can I get another one? Yeah. That's like the gift that keeps on giving. They be like,
I want the candle Nikita. I'm like, it's either birthday cake, sock it to me, or crisp linen, maybe red currant here and there. I think that's LaShonda. She likes red currant, but
those are my three. Yeah. Like for real, because I really love cakes. That's my favorite. But I know everybody don't like it so sweet. Yeah. But what I love so much about your company is it's so unique. Yeah. It's so unique. How many candle makers do we really know? Mm-hmm. You know a lot of hairstylists, photographers, trainers. Yeah. But you really have a unique concept.
That's work, because that's work too. It's not so easy to mimic something that takes hard work. It's hard to mimic work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Not saying the hair, all of that takes work, but it takes some physical, it takes some real work. It look easy, and you perfect it, and but you have to really enjoy it to be able to do it. Sometimes I'd be like, Lord, I didn't created a job for myself. So now I'm at the point in my business where I'm stepping into the CEO position instead of the workhorse of my business. So making that transition requires things from me personally. So so that's where I'm at with that.
So you're gonna grow your staff, grow your team, allow them to. You're gonna delegate, allow them to do a little more work.
Work is getting done now while I'm not there. I was able to write things on the board, do things and be assured and confident to know when I get back it's gonna be done. I had a meeting this morning with accounting. I had a meeting this morning with PR, and
So let's talk about social media. What role does social media play in your marketing and the growth of your business?
I think it plays a big role. I majority of my customers are not on social media, so I don't solely rely on social media. But I like social media because it opens me up to a new market, a younger generation that, may have never heard of Simply Sense. So I market that Simply Sense as such. But I also market the CEO Shan too for Simply Sense to show, maybe a personal side of me, what has allowed me to reach that level of success that, that's on social media that people do see and know I want to remain touchable. Like, you see me somewhere, you be, So yeah, it plays a big role in my business. Social media does. I do all my social media still, but sometimes I have people call me say, "You need to post this, you need to post that." You know, as far as on my team.
Yes,
So yeah,
recommendations,
but
suggestions.
for the most part, I do a lot of that. I enjoy it.
So growing the brand,
Mhm.
growing the team,
Mhm.
new looks line.
Mhm.
What are you planning on doing that's big for 2019?
Ooh. Okay, so for 2019, I want
2019.
to open up a new segment of my business, which is the candle parties. So, like painting with a twist is a whole separate entity, but it'll still be a part of the Simply Sense entity. So, after we open this second location, which will be in a couple of weeks, uh, well, the team always get on me because they be like, how you gonna do this and this and this and this? But I'm like, hey, just ride with me. Just, don't worry about the budget. Don't worry about all that. We're gonna make this happen. And I'm sure you do the same thing because you got a lot of stuff going on. So after we get through with that, then we'll go on to have a hopefully it'll be 2 doors down for me in my shopping strip if they work with me, like I want them to work with me. But we'll have a candles with a twist, Simply Sense Wind Down, where we'll do nothing but candle parties there. But it hinders us. We can't do as many, and it has grown tremendously. And I think we're missing money because we can't tap in on it because we have it at the store, like your event. So that's going to be a little bit doing store hours, but if it was at a separate place, it could already be going
So
on.
that's
to
why
your
you gave
liking
me
and
the
to your
two
time.
options, like early or late.
Yeah.
So you can make sure you can manage your
Yeah.
your clients who is coming in
Yeah.
throughout the day.
That's the
So,
only thing, So by it being 2 doors down, I'll still be able to allow the customers to come into the store and shop as well. So that'll be my next big thing, and then we'll get that down to signs and do it like painting with a twist, kind of franchise them out. That's all big dreams and stuff that we have. But
That's
it's
what
all
about.
God's plans.
That's
It's
what
like,
it's
hey,
about,
hold on
though.
now, wait, you got to open up another store, But in your mind, we have to always be prepared for next.
We
What's
just have to be
next?
prepared just to do some cliff jumps.
Yeah.
Do some major things, and franchising is the way.
Yeah.
You already have the brand.
Yeah.
You already have the marketing set up. You already have a lot of strategies in place. So now a new business owner can go in and buy into your franchise without having to do a lot of guesswork.
Yeah.
You have the framework for them. You have the foundation for them. Don't get me wrong. They can put a little twist to a few little things to make it their own, but there's definitely value in franchise.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to go into business and open a business their own namesake, but it's a lot of lessons and some failures that take place in the midst of having your namesake. So there is value in
failures are so necessary.
Yeah, it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's strength training. It's conditioning. It makes you better. It makes you stronger. And it prepares you for the next big whatever cliff jump that you're going to do.
I agree.
So after the expansion, how many more years do you see yourself actually working? Do you see a retirement in 10 years, 20 years? What does that look like for you?
I think I'm going to always be on the board of Simply Sense, whatever I have going on. I do have an exit strategy, and I will sell, and then we open up under Shan Candles or something like that. Maybe if it's, just open for all options, because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs and business owners also, we don't really have an exit strategy planned out. We think, okay, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life. And then boom, God forbid something happen, you can't do it tomorrow, then what you going to do? Your brand just goes the ways it goes. So that's constantly on my mind to, one option is to build it up so much and to be able to sell it and then be on the board. That's one option. And the other option is to be an old lady with a cane still getting on people's nerves, coming in there and be like, hey, why this not done this? They be like, oh, Lord, there she go. But I'm going to be on that helicopter going place to place to place, doing in-store signings at Saks. I'm going to be doing in-store signings at Neiman's. So my role will be changing throughout the company to where it won't be so much. But I think I will always be involved. It's like my child is 16 years old. And it's like, okay, 2 more years, you need to go out there, do what you need to do. And I expect to receive some kickback.
Yeah.
A lot of times in business, we Simply Sense have money. But what I got in that bag is like a minimum, because I do not rob the company. It would take me much longer. I wouldn't be this far if I did that. So I have to sacrifice a lot, a lot. But the good thing is, before I started the candles, I already was somebody doing something, having things, doing things. So it's not like I missed anything. You see how God set that up? People like, oh, do this, get this out the way. So when it's time for you to sacrifice, it ain't like, oh, I wonder what that's like, or I wonder if I'm missing out on that. So I think that that helps too. But I haven't been to Dubai. I haven't been all these things either, Lord. So it's like now I'm ready to be able to do bigger things for myself, the things that I have been sacrificing for so long.
What is the longest trip you've taken away from your business?
Ooh, it was a honeymoon. A lot of people don't know this. I was married for 7 months. You know, I was married for 7 months about 8 years ago. Wonderful guy. It just wasn't for us. So I went on a cruise for 7 days, and I thought I was going to jump off that mug and swim back home. I was like, heck no, I ain't going to be able to do this. So 7 days was the longest I ever been gone, and that was too long.
How many years ago was that?
8 years ago.
So you haven't been out of town again for 7
Oh, yeah, I haven't been. I've been
for
out of
7
town.
days?
No.
That's what I want to know.
No, I can't go out of town for 7 days right now because I'm going to start looking at the things out of town and all of the fancy things and all of this, and I'm going to want to get back to work to make more candles so I can come back and do those things that I haven't been doing. So 7 days, you know, I don't know. It would have to be like to a really good place and with a really good person or some really good things going on. And I'm able to go there and be able to maybe network and do some things, you know.
Make work
But
related
yeah,
on
4
things.
days is the max.
So Dubai, how you gonna do Dubai in 4 days?
But when that time come when I'm able to go,
Okay.
then I'll be ready for
Okay.
that. You see how it
Uh-huh.
be in levels. You can't just
Uh-huh.
jump and go do
Uh-huh.
something.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of got to be kind of set
It's
up.
stages. It's
Yeah.
stages.
But
Yeah.
once it's in your mind, it's like, okay, you know, it's in your mindset, and you say, okay, now I'm going to Dubai, you know, the next year. So, you know, you say a year, you know, you be going in 2 months. You know, be like, oh, Lord, you give me the desires of my heart because I may have done something, been, you know, obedient and not even knowing and got a blessing.
I know God plays a major role
Major.
in your life, in your
Major.
success story.
Yes.
What is the last nugget you would like to share with the audience?
Oh,
before
keep
we
God
leave?
first. Like, keep God first in everything that you do because, you know, like I shared earlier, you know, it sounds bad, but you have to put him first before anything and anybody. And then he'll work on other people. You know, whatever you're trying to fix with this person, you know, put him first. I'm a sinner, you know, but I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And hopefully, you know, through my journey and through my testimony and through my business, people could say, hey, well, you know, Shan not perfect, but she have a relationship with God, and I can see how he may operate in her life, and I know he could do the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I just want people to know, to keep God first in whatever you do, and he gonna direct your path and lead you exactly where you have to go. And when you don't go down that path, he gonna chastise you, and you will find your way. Be like, oh, Lord, I'm in the wilderness. Like, oh, yeah, because you took the wheel. I was leading you that direction, and then you got to a destination. You're like, okay, I got it. Then you be like, oh, Lord, I don't have it. I'm lost. Help me. I need you, Lord. Then he come back and he get us.
Yes. 'Cause he's a grace giving God.
Yes,
He's a
he
forgiving
is.
God.
We ain't nothing we do special. Ain't better than nobody.
Right.
Ain't do nothing extra special, extra nice, nothing. I just thank him for using me and choosing me. And, yeah, every day I wake up to make him proud to do something or say something, or, you know, people be like, Shan, who is that? You know, I have people come to the store. They may be doing the trash or cleaning the window. They be like, oh, is this safe? Who is that? Hey, I deal with the bombs to the president, because you never know who you entertaining. Then when the time comes, it's like, hey, I was right there at your thing asking to clean your windows. You had it. Your windows need cleaning, but you didn't let me do it. So I had to pass that on to Nikita, because her hands were open and available for me to use her. And you asked to be used. My thing is, hey, if you asked to be the lender and not the borrower, don't get mad when people ask to borrow. That's the thing that comes along with being the lender.
It is. It is. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Shan,
Thanks
for
for having
coming,
me.
for sharing.
Yeah, I love to talk.
Well, the best is yet to come. 2019.
Yay.
Simply Sent
Yeah.
Candle Company.
Yes.
Thank you, Shan
Thank you
Greggs.
so much for having me.
Until next time, I'm
Yep.
Nikita Ross.